Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gav. This is the Fatback 4. My voice is completely gone, so I'm going to do my best. All the lads are here for the final Fatback 4 of the season.
Yes.
Matt's delighted because it's the last one. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 3 in the Champions League final, and a disappointing night and a disappointing result. And it's a bit of a sad ending to a season that's been overall has been brilliant. Ian, I'll come to you first. Our team picked itself. The only thing around Real Madrid was Bale or Benzema. He goes with Benzema. And we start all right, don't we? We get on top of them. We're winning balls. We're nicking balls. We're getting in behind them, and things look good for the first 15, 20 anyway.
I think we're a better side than them, mate. And I think when we had our first or our strongest 11 on the pitch, when Salah was on, I think it was just a matter of time before we got in behind them and scored. I was shouting to anyone who'd listen, we're better than these, because I genuinely do think we are. But it just highlighted the fact that we've got no one of Salah's ability or to come off the bench for such an occasion. Do you know what I mean? When we needed it, so devastating, really.
Yeah, it was. I'm hoping you'll speak for a bit longer than that, so I don't have to speak at all. Matt, I'm going to go on the assumption that you remember most of yesterday, but the first 20 and right up to that Salah injury, Liverpool are playing really well. They're high up the pitch. They're pushing Real Madrid back, and the one chance I remember is Trent Alexander-Arnold with a good strike and the keeper makes a good save. But when you're seeing that first 20 where you're growing in confidence all the time, you know, from what you'd see in the first 20, that, yeah, you know what, we can really, really get at this.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. If that game carries on without the injury, we're going to win that. I'm fairly certain of that. We had their number. They wouldn't have played anyone in La Liga because we pressed them that high. We weren't scared of them, and we just got at them. They're not used to that. And we had their number all day long. It's just that. I was saying from the beginning, I think it'll be something out of our control that'll win this game. Just that. And at the end of the day, it was an injury to Salah. And it just completely changed. By bringing Lallana on, shouldn't make that much of a difference. I know how good Salah is, but it shouldn't make us drop off so much. But everyone's head, it was more of a psychological drop than anything, and everyone's head just went, and that was it. We just lost it from there. The game was lost.
Yeah, Grizz, I'll give you a shout on this Salah injury. A lot of things are going around saying that he does it on purpose. He drags him down in a way to try injure him. Looking back on it, I think he gets his foot to the ball, but I actually think Ramos believes that Salah is getting away from him and drags his arm to try to stop him. But I don't even think a free kick was given. But it's a massive turning point in the game, isn't it?
It was actually given the other way. Can you believe that? It was actually given the other way. The actual free kick was given the other way. In my mind, there's absolute no doubt Ramos meant it. And the reason why I say that is because it's almost like a judo move, isn't it? That was quite an impressive judo move by that wanker. What's his name, man? Fucking Ramos. He actually applies pressure, and that's where the intent is. Because if you think about it, he's got his right arm locked, and it's the other shoulder that's the injured one, isn't it? Am I right? Anyone?
Yeah.
So it's the other shoulders that's damaged, or the other collarbone or shoulder, whatever. And for a person to sort of fall naturally like that, you just roll over, and there's the sheer velocity that he slammed him down is what caused the damage, and that's where the intent is. Because the lock's not what does the damage; it's the actual once he's got him on the floor and then slams him over on it and puts weight on it. That's where the damage is caused. The ball was gone. The ball was at least 10 yards away. I don't think he was. I think he knew Salah was not going to get the ball. He's exactly what everyone's described him. He is exactly that. But would we want someone like that on our side? Yes, we would. He's an elite winner. He's an elite snide. He's everything where everyone's described him. And you know, forget all the premeditated stuff. You know, people are coming out with he fucking went out to injure him. He didn't go out to sort of fucking injure him. But if there's an opportunity to injure him, then Ramos is taking it, mate.
There's that picture going around as well of him laughing as Salah's going off crying.
I think that's a Photoshop job, though. Being honest, because when Salah's going off,
I believe it anyway.
When Salah is going off, Ramos is near the touchline, and that picture is meant to be Ramos standing back in the box. Look, we change and we go with Lallana, but for me, Lallana plays in midfield. He shouldn't be playing in one of those front three spots. Real Madrid straight away.
We should have moved to the diamond, I thought.
Yeah, I'd agree. Straight to the diamond to put Mane up front with Firmino, because Firmino gets more and more. He's more and more out of the game without the two lads beside him. But we get the half time, lads. We get to 0-0, and we're thinking, right, we'll shake this up, and then the second half starts. Ian, I'll let you run me through how you seen this first goal, because for me it's mind-boggling.
Did you go in 0-0?
Yeah, we went in 0-0, Matt.
Yeah.
I saw, because I was about 38 drinks in by this point, but I remember Karius collecting the ball, and then I turned around, I don't know if it was to Matt or someone, to say something, and then I looked back and the ball was just rolling in the net, and I was like, what the fuck's just happened? You know what I mean? There was no, I just couldn't get my head around it, and when I watched it back, I was like, oh, honestly, of all the games to do it, do you know what I mean? Like, the second goal that he concedes is horrific, but it happens, you know what I mean? But I've never seen a goal like that first one. In all the games to do it in, oh man, it's just fucking. I mean, I don't like to lambaste the lad, you know what I mean? Because he's going to be having a bad couple of months now. But I have been saying for a while, he's got it in him to make a howler, and it's going to cost us at some point. I have been saying it, and I just hate that it was this game that it happened. You know what I mean? I think Klopp's right. I think the second one is almost an effect of the first one, because his head's gone completely. But he come very close to doing the exact same thing against Roma, exact same thing. So there's no doubt that he's got ability and he's talented, but he's got some real glaring flaws in his game. I don't understand how he's got to the level he has without being able to correct certain flaws in his game. He's usually very good with the ball in his hands, proactive with the throws and stuff like that, and he likes to get us moving, do you know what I mean? So I'm all for that, but I just don't know what the fuck was going through his mind when he done it. I don't even know who scored. Was it Benzema? It's going off Benzema.
For me, like, the ball's played through, Benzema is offside, and originally I thought he was throwing the ball out for a free kick to be taken. I thought the flag had gone up. Benzema was offside 10 yards further back, and he was throwing the ball, to give it to whoever's going to take the free kick. Yeah. And then it hits Benzema and goes in. And I'm kind of going, he's offside. And people around me were going, no flag. He actually, that's the next phase of play. He throws it against Benzema and into the net. And for me, I suppose looking back on it, even if it doesn't hit Benzema, it's a ridiculous fucking throw to be doing anyway. He has a player out to his right. If he actually turns his body to his left, Robertson is in acres of space. It's mental. But Matt, that for 50, what was it? Was it 52 minutes? I think that went in. And our memory's not going to be good on this, lads, because 3 of us drank way too much yesterday. But Matt, to go a goal down, okay, fair enough. But to go a goal down like that, I think we show incredible mental strength to come back into it very, very quickly.
You're on mute, Matt.
There we go.
Yeah.
Enjoying that, Ian.
I made a brilliant point as well, but I can't. It was great to come back. It was exactly what was needed. But the most important part is what came after that when we didn't kick on, and that's what we needed to do. That goal should have said to us, "These ain't shit. We can get these." But again, we reversed it to norm and let the pressure. It was just what lost this game, wasn't it? But when did we score the game? The goal after theirs? Straight away.
55 minutes, yeah. I think it's only 3 or 4 minutes after they score.
Mane, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jesus, you must have been really bad.
He was.
Yeah.
Liverpool versus Madrid, it was.
But Chris.
Not as bad as you, basically, Greg.
Chris, the goal is a corner comes in. I think Lovren wins the header, and Mane is there to tap it in. And when it goes in, I'm thinking, you know what, brilliant. We've made a mistake, but we're back in it now. Everything's even again. Let's go. And then Gareth Bale goes and does that. How good a goal is that, Chris?
It's on a level and a par with probably Zidane's, or some would say it's better than Zidane's.
Yeah, I'd say it's well better.
Yeah,
I'd say it's the best goal that's ever been in a Champions League final ever.
League final, and it happens against us. That's the second goal. The first goal is freaky enough as it is. I actually, Gav, you probably don't remember now, but on the way when you picked me up from the airport, true story, lads, I said to him, Karius, I'm worried about Karius today. I said, in my dream, I had a dream, Karius costs us that game. I should have fucking played the lottery as well with the numbers I saw in my dream. But look, Matt says that we didn't kick on after we equalised. I still believe we hadn't recovered fully as a team from the shock of that first goal and the Salah incident. Because you got to remember, they've seen their talisman, our best player of the season, who sort of got out of so much shit, crying off that pitch. And yes, Jurgen's got them in at half-time, and I'm sure it must have been an emotional half-time sort of speech saying, look, let's do it for Mo and et cetera, et cetera. But again, it comes back to, I don't think we've got any inspirational leaders of the Steven Gerrard type that would have made a rallying call to bring us back in. It's not the time to sort of, pick holes in sort of leadership qualities and captaincy issues and et cetera, et cetera. But I do feel there's an issue there. And I do feel yesterday in these kind of big game type scenarios, you do need that in your team, someone to stand out, and actually rally the team on. We showed great spirit. I mean, the spirit we showed to come back into it and score from the, I think Lovren wins the header, doesn't he? Yep. Lovren wins the header. Mane slides it in. In my opinion, we stopped. From the moment Salah went off, we stopped playing football. And that was my only gripe. We played far too many balls in the channels. Trent and Robertson, I don't know why, what happened, but we were playing the type of football we were playing against Roma without Roma pushing up, without Madrid pushing up. Madrid went up 20 yards after Salah went off, and we should have adjusted accordingly, but we just didn't.
We went, Ian, we went a bit into survival mode, didn't we? As soon as Salah goes off, that 15 minutes or whatever, excuse me, we go into survival mode, and we are literally, hoping and praying for half time.
Yeah. It enabled Marcelo, like Chris just said there, it enabled Marcelo to start pushing right up the pitch. Yeah. And then later on, I think we missed the trick, because when Nacho come on at right back, he's a centre half. So I think we should have just put Mane out on the right and just pushed them right up and pinned Marcelo back. Do you know what I mean? But they did go into a bit of survival mode. But I think Chris is a bit harsh there on the leadership thing. I think in the biggest game of your careers, to have a goal against just that first goal and then still come back and respond to that, it shows brilliant mentality. And I don't think there was an issue with the leadership. But then they score. We can see the second goal, which is fucking out of this world. And then the third goal, it's two massive howlers and a world-class strike. I don't think... I know it's an obvious statement, but such incidents decide games, do you know what I mean? It wasn't... I don't think the game was we were ever outplayed, or... we didn't play our natural game because we lost our most potent weapon. That's obvious. But at no point did they ever think we're getting played off the park here. We're not doing enough here. It was just individual incidents that were just freaky as fuck. But so I wouldn't blame any sort of leadership or mentality or anything like that. The mentality of the keeper, but not of the outfield players. I think they done what they could with what they had available to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think any of them had a bad game. I thought the back four were brilliant.
Yeah, I thought they were as well. I thought they were outstanding.
Mane was great.
I thought the midfield worked very hard, but didn't do an awful lot to get enough service to Firmino or get up beside him. I did think that.
Yeah.
No, Ian, can I just say, can I respond to Ian's point? What I meant, sorry, I agree with what you said, actually. What I meant to say, maybe I didn't come across properly, was we didn't have an inspirational leader in terms of a performance. I mean, Mane, yeah, actually, to be honest with you, Mane was quite inspirational. He tried. The attitude was right. You're right. We did recover. We showed, great sort of powers of recovery. We just needed, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about Istanbul too much, and we just needed sort of an inspirational type figure in terms of the playing side of things, sort of just to lift us. Like, look, Mo's gone off. Let's let's raise our game. I don't think we were still in survival mode, in just my opinion.
Yeah,
we retreated.
You see, I think what happens as well is that when, like, as much of an effect it has on us, I think it has an effect on them as well. Matt, let's have a look through some of the players. We've touched on Karius for obvious reasons, but and Mane. Who else stood out for you?
Oh, that tackle by Robbo on Ronaldo. He's going to be a legend for it. I was made up for him. He had a brilliant game. As Chris said, the midfield worked well off the ball, but they didn't do anything on the ball. No one stepped up. No one grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. There's none of that. I know they're just sound bites, but people do need to literally do that. And not one of them did, I don't think. But yeah, Mane and back four for me.
Yeah, Mane and back four for me as well, I think. Ian, is there anybody else outside of that? What did you think of the midfielding?
The same that I've thought of them all season, mate. They're all functional. None of them are world class, so they're all functional, and they're all very like for like. Oh, that midfield three. Like when
put a double box.
You what? Yeah. I was just going to say. Ox is the one who offers something different, or maybe even Lallana when he's proper fit. Do you know what I mean? But they're all just functional. It's easily addressed, and it will be addressed in the summer because we've already got one player coming in who's top draw. But bear in mind, mate, they're up against Isco, Modric, Kroos, Casemiro. Do you know what I mean? The first three of those are world class technicians. Do you know what I mean? World class, and they held their own. They didn't at any point impart their game on Madrid. Do you know what I mean? We weren't dominating. I thought Gini showed real signs of progress in the six. I think he's really coming on. But they just are what they are. We've just it's. I give you credit for the week when I was having a go. You were going on about fucking not spending the Coutinho money and all that. It just shows when you look at the bench. And when Salah goes off, if we could have brought on, I don't know, a Sahar or a Bailey or someone like that, then I don't think the game changes much because it's like for like pace right up the pitch. But we have to change. I thought it was a strange substitution. We just, do you know what I mean? Our first 11 is top draw, but then it drops off a cliff, especially with the injuries we got.
I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, lads, but do you know what I thought at the time of the substitution? I know Lallana came on and we could have changed it to match them up in terms of the formation they were playing, in terms of a triangle, which probably would have suited Lallana far more than this bloody role in the top three, in the front three. But what I was thinking was, do you think there was a possibility of bringing in Klein?
Yeah.
And then just keeping Trent?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because we had Madrid. Madrid were playing deep. Madrid were not playing a high line when Salah was on that pitch, and it was visible to me. We were with Trent's pace and Mane's pace, we still would have had them playing that system, I think.
I'll get pelters for this, but if you're going to keep the formation, I would put Moreno up there.
I knew you were going to say Moreno. No chance, man. I knew you were going to say Moreno.
Yeah, but I know
you are just the pace.
I know where he's coming from, and it is pace. And you see, we're talking about.
But that just means that there's 2 bellends on the podcast then.
But no, I know what he's saying with regards to pace, and the shout for Trent to go further up is also again pace.
It just
Trent,
puts doubt in the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do.
Ian, we're talking about these midfielders being functional. Do that midfield need those 3 lads up front playing so they can function? Because they function within that system, and when we lose one of these, our functionality disappears.
Yeah, I think our midfield 3, their deficiencies are masked by how good our front 3 are. So we get away with only having like a 7 out of 10 midfield because we've got a 9.5 out of 10 attack. So if you take out one of the facets of the front 3, then it becomes more apparent that the midfield 3 are never going to grab a game by the scruff of the neck. They're never going to win you the game. They're not going to score a 30-yarder. That front 3, that midfield 3 anyway. So I think we get away with it a bit with our front 3. Like I say, it will be addressed in the summer. It's just fucking devastating. I mean, how long do you wait for the Champions League final? Heavy.
Yeah, I know.
The thing is, are we criticising our midfield 3? We're saying
no. I'm not criticising them, Grace. What I'm saying is that the way they function is perfectly set up.
Yeah.
Your voice,
with them front 3. Sorry, I know it's getting worse. It functions perfectly in a team with those 3 up front. But when you change it around, you forget it. It just disappears.
Yeah, and I think what I was going to say is, look, despite all that, for the first 20 minutes, as Ian says, we were by far the better team. And as good as Modric was, because Modric yesterday, I've seen the game back, right? And Modric's performance was fucking amazing.
Did you watch it back?
Yeah, I watched it back. It was ridiculously good, Modric. And we didn't notice it because we were concentrating on us and Salah and everything. But and we weren't outplayed. That's the thing. That's what bugs us. That was the most Liverpool way of losing you can possibly, where it was a sequence of events that are just so unreal. As Ian says, the first one is, Ian, you thought that he's rolling out someone. I thought, because I turned around as well, and I thought someone's kicked it out of his hand. So I thought, the refs blow up now because someone must have kicked it out of his hand. When they they throw it in the air. It's surreal. The second goal, as you said, it's an Emre Can goal, isn't it? It's one in a million. You try that on the training ground again and again. You won't do that in about 200 attempts. And the third one, his head's gone. He's completely gone. There's no. He was recovering after that. So it's a sequence of events that are just so hard to take. If we were outplayed and just ripped to shreds, and because 3-1 is flattering for them, in my opinion. It's just a sequence of events is hard to take. It's really hard to take, even though they are a great team. They've won it 3rd time in a row, but they didn't have to work hard for that, and that's the mad bit.
I think as good as Modric was, I don't think he was anywhere in the game in the first 25. I genuinely believe that. I agree. I think he was nowhere to be seen. I think Casemiro didn't know whether to go with players or just protect their back 4. Shay Given was at our event last night, and he says that for the 3rd one, he reckons Karius changes his mind. He's going to punch it. The shot, he's going to punch it, the shot, and he changes his mind halfway in and decides to catch, and then does neither. But the game is lost. Look, it's a bad way to lose a game, especially when you consider 2 balls were thrown in the net and we lost 3-1. I think that's the worst bit about it. I just want to ask you though, does this have a mega effect on this squad? Or do you think they take it, they learn from it, they move on? Squad manager, everybody in the club. Matt, did he push on from here, or could this have did the manner of the defeat could have a bad effect on us?
If it was any other manager, maybe because it's Klopp, they'll use this and they'll push on. With Klopp, we're just at the start here. He's building a very special team. Players, they kind of need that hurt. They don't want it again, so we can use that as a team talk. whenever there's another big game coming up. But yeah, it's hard to take. But looking for the good, we are at the start of something special. We got to a Champions League final we had no right to get to. We were smashing teams off the park, and we were underrated the whole way. Yeah, I'm not worried about this going on in the future.
Okay. Ian, for you, do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think winning's a habit, though. Winning trophies is a habit. And Klopp's got a bit of a worrying pattern on his record now. Is it 5 in a row or 6 in a row? He hasn't won in a row. Mm-hmm. Liverpool have lost their last, I want to say, 4 major finals, is it? Two Champions Leagues, League Cup against City, and the Europa at the 4. So I think they just need to get up.
They'd have Europa, Champions League. They'd have the League Cup against City, and maybe the FA Cup against Chelsea, was it?
I don't know. Either way, it's a defeat, isn't it? It's a habit of winning. Madrid know how to win. You can say what you want about Ramos, but he is an elite winner.
To win is off the chart. He'll do whatever it takes. And he's like basically Graham Souness as a centre half or Luis Suarez as a centre half. He's a horrible bastard. Liverpool, we spoke about it a few times leading up to the final. We're not very good at the dark arts of the game. We're not very savvy when it comes to that type of stuff. We need some of that. But that only comes, I think, with winning, with experience. It's like catch-22. You need the experience to win, but you need to win for the experience. Do you know what I mean? So they just need to blag the cup next season, even if it's just a League Cup, just blag a fucking cup and just get it, especially for someone like Trent or Robertson, the younger players, just get used to winning trophies. Yeah. And I think as soon as we win 1, I think it'll follow 2 and then 3, and then it'll be a regular occurrence. I think Karius is fucked. I can't see how Karius comes back from that. And I mean, mentally for the rest of his life, the poor bastard. I saw him go over to the fans at the end crying and all that, and I couldn't watch it because it was upsetting. Do you know what I mean? It is really heartbreaking. But I don't know how he responds from that. The only way he can get past that is if he's man of the match in the next Champions League final, something like that. Where he remember when Stuart Pearce missed a pen in the World Cup, and then in the next tournament he took a pen and his fucking the whole world just lifted off his shoulders when it went in. I think Karius needs some sort of redemption like that, and I'm not sure he's ever going to get it with us now. Because if we were looking at Alisson before, we fucking will be now. Klopp's loyal, but he's not stupid. We need an upgrade there.
Shay Given said last night that he rates Jack Butland really, really, really highly. And
how pissed is
he? He wasn't. He was actually late getting to the gig because of a cancelled flight. And when he got there, he was grand. There wasn't a bother on him, not like the rest of us. But Graves, where do you feel we go from here? Do you think we take this and we learn from it and we go again, or do you think the scars of this could wear on beyond the summer?
Nah, I don't. I think we go on. I'm very, very positive. Before the game, I was telling you guys, I won't be deviled if we lose this. Yes, I'll be upset, but we've had a smashing campaign. And our league form only dropped off because of this amazing Champions League campaign. So people that say, we finished below Spurs and United are a bit stupid because we finished below them because of this amazing Champions League campaign. Look, you're talking about players and how we go from here. I'm with Ian. And I think we've agreed, even though Karius was getting plaudits and he was doing better, we always said he's doing better. But I've never been convinced by him, and I've maintained that from the start. It's going to be very difficult for him to come back from this. If he does, amazing. It's all credit to him. But look, from the human side of things, I felt for him. That was grim. At the end, when you have to go over to your fans and he's out of it, he was proper bawling his eyes out. that shouldn't happen to any player. And if anyone's abusing him and atting him in sort of social media, then they're just twats. But from a professional point of view, as Ian says, that is sort of the pinnacle of your career when you're a Champions League and you've literally thrown 2 goals, into your own net. Man, I don't know. I can't see him coming back from there, man. From a professional, but from a human side of the view, I hope he does, man. No one should ever have to go through that kind of sort of adversity. But you're talking about positives. There is positives, man. As you guys said, Robbo and Trent, the experience. I know Ian's right about in terms of winning is an experience and is a habit, but even playing at the highest level against the best opposition and in the world at that level, at that age, it's a tremendous experience. And another shout out that I know Mane was superb, and the midfield we've been a bit meh about. They were meh, but Lovren again showed what he's capable of when his fucking head's screwed on, and he doesn't sort of make his big errors. I thought he was. I think the back 4 was superb. There wasn't a mistake in them, and that's the fucking frustrating thing about it. How we managed to lose when none of our back 4 made an error. It's fucking hard to take, man.
It is.
Trent Alexander is 19, and he was world class. There's one really nice bit in the. I can't remember what half it is.
The first, Marcelo gives him a pat.
Marcelo, yeah.
Gives him
Marcelo
a high
tries to go around him, and Trent just deals with him like an expert. And as he's run back, Marcelo gives him a high 5. That's probably the best left back in the world.
Absolutely.
One of the best fullbacks of the last 30 years. Do you know what I mean? That is huge. That just shows the respect. And he wouldn't just give that to anyone. He's a top talent, Trent. He's going places, man. Really, our fullbacks are boxed off for the next 10 years.
Yeah, boy.
We are so close. We are so close. It's fucking frustrating.
I think it showed last night that we definitely do need more players for the squad, because we're all talking about Salah going off and then our whole game changes. We shouldn't allow that. We have to get to a stage where if a player goes off, we have somebody to replace him. Grizz, tell us about your couple of days in Dublin.
It was amazing.
How was the open top bus?
You were?
How was the open top bus?
No, I didn't do it. We didn't have time.
He looks like he's fucking doubled in Dublin, the fucking big cunt. Look at the size of him.
I tell you what, though, the food was... No, I'll tell you why we didn't do the open top bus, because the food was fucking amazing. The lads told us about a place. Oh, man, the food. I was in my element. I showed you pics, didn't I? Shared you pics. But I'll tell you what, lovely occasion. Gav was, as usual, the hostess with the mostest. Top lads, the rest of them. Shout out to the rest of them. Phil actually picked us up from the hotel to the actual, where the gig was. And, I wish I could have brought some... lucky Cockney luck, but just unfortunately, the result dampened it a bit. But yeah, an amazing time, man. And the Irish lads were absolute brilliant. I really felt. Do you know what? On the way back, I swear, normally, right, you're coming back from a train or a transport in London, East London, at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's not a pleasant place. You see all sorts of weirdos. But in Dublin, I'm not joking, guys. There was kids and families on the tram. Tram was full, and it felt like it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was so safe. I mean, I don't know stats-wise what's the crime rate like in Ireland, but I tell you what, it fucking felt like a safe.
Matt, have you got a spreadsheet for the crime rates in Dublin?
Matt must have stats for the crime rates in Dublin.
I'll get it for you.
Has it gone up 35% since all the French moved out?
There's a 35% drop off, yeah.
Now, by lovely, amazing time, man. Brilliant.
Yeah, no,
it
was a good day. That's all I'm saying on it. Ian and Matt, you met up and watched the game together. Ian, how did you get on? Because I know you had an argument with the Mersey Tunnel. Go on.
I had a laugh, me mate. There was me, my mate, and Matt. More of an acquaintance. But
my mate and Matt.
Yeah. But me mate was wrote off. He was like, knocked it about 2 hours before the game, was throwing up everywhere.
Oh,
He ripped all his short, he had his arse out and everything. He was a mess.
He was just sitting, clambered over the wall behind us, just throwing up, and everyone's taking pictures of him. Me and Ian was just cracking on.
Yeah, that'll go viral, that. But we went to, there's a nice restaurant in Liverpool called Matu, and that's where we met that fucking middle-class prick. Whereas me and my mate go to Mackey's and all that, but he was like, I'm in Matu having hors d'oeuvres or something, so we had to go and meet him. But my mate knows everyone in all the bars because he's like a concierge for a big hotel. And he went, I know all the staff in Matu. So we got in there and he goes, do you want a drink? And I went, are you paying for these? Or are you getting them for nothing? He goes, I don't pay for drinks in here. And I went, well, I'll have a treble gin then, please. He was just getting massive drinks. Like, if he was paying, I'd have got a half a lager, probably. But on the way home, I think me and Matt were out till about, I want to say 3:30, 4, I don't really know. And then he swerved on me, couldn't find him, my phone was dead, his phone was dead. And then I just start walking home. Now, bear in mind that I work in the city pretty much in my taxi every single day. So I should know the way home, you know what I mean? And I was walking for what seemed like 38 hours. And I walked into the Mersey Tunnel, like just right down. And I just couldn't get my head around how I got there. So I was like, you don't, and it's all downhill. So I had to walk all the way back uphill to come out of it. It's like, you dopey cunt. Walked about a mile in the opposite direction. And then turned around and done it again. Went back to the fucking Mersey Tunnel again. I was like, I'm having a stroke here. I was as close to crying as I've ever been. I was just fucking, it was a nightmare. And I got home, I went to Mackey's, and I've just been on the verge of dying all day.
Oh, stop. Matt, how was your day?
Yeah, same as that.
As if he fucking remembers his day.
Yeah, we put quite a lot back. Like it was messy. As I was saying, I went to bus. My phone went dead, and I thought it was about 11, quarter to 11. So I went and sat in the bus stop for an hour and a half waiting for my bus. Fucking cursing because the 472 wasn't turning up. It was 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, fuck. My phone was dead, so I couldn't call me middle class Uber. So I had to go try and hunt down a taxi somehow. I don't know how I got home. I haven't phone.
All right. Now, I think, despite the result, I think most Liverpool fans out there had a good day, and let's just hope that there's more to come, more good days to come. I hope this squad sticks together and gets added to, and gets this out of our system very quickly. I mean,
well, guys, you know what it is? The things that we've discussed, like in terms of the flaws, like Ian said, that the midfield's functional. The amazing thing about our manager is he's recognised that. And the names that we've been linked with resolve those issues. So we've got Keita, who resolves the issue with in terms of we're getting someone who's world class already in terms of dictating a game and taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Neck. Right. So we've got it. So look, with Ox coming back as well, you got to remember. And I think we've touched on it, but Ox was a massive, massive loss in that final. Yeah. Massive loss. He was, honestly, especially in terms of pressing. Like Modric wouldn't have had the fucking ride he had if Ox was on that. We had no link. And I thought Lallana would provide that if he played in the middle, but he didn't. So look.
Did you see the? I know they were all heartbroken, but did you see the pictures of Ox after the game on his crutches sobbing?
I couldn't take them. I couldn't take those pictures.
Terry.
That image of Ox, Salah, and Karius crying. I mean, it's horrible, but I think we talk about watershed moments, and we talked about the defeat to Spurs. I think this is another watershed moment. It really is. I think for Klopp, in terms of he takes us to that next, because after Seville we win again, and everyone thought, we had that season where everyone thought, they've been a brilliant Premier League because they haven't got no European football. But then we had European football this year. We've smashed it, got all the way to the final, and reached the top 4. I really think we go again. We're very, very close.
Yeah.
And it's not. And we're not. No, but Matt, do you know what it is? Normally, when we're close and we're worried about, are we going to make those signings that's going to push us on? I know we all are, but we're all quite chilled and relaxed about our transfer plans. what the players is targeting to go forward again.
I think it's because the club is in such a good state now.
Yeah,
we're making a lot of money. We've got a new state. We've got a new stand. We've got another one on the way. We know the players that we're bringing in, the caliber. You look at who we've signed in the last 2 years, and I don't think any of them are.
Who's a bad signing?
Absolutely none. Yeah, there's no bad signings. So I have absolute trust in Klopp and the recruitment team and the business side of everything. I think the club's in a very good place. Whereas after 13-14, for example,
it was rocky. Yeah,
we're getting like Balotelli and people in. Madness. Yeah, we didn't trust it.
I think
we need 4 players to kick on. I think we need a keeper. I've said all along we need a new keeper. We need a new keeper. Centre back. Midfield.
You haven't said that, Matt.
No, he hasn't. He knows he hasn't as well. That's why he said that he's a dickhead. He's a dickhead.
Yeah. We need a new midfielder as well as Keita, and we need a winger. 4 quality players who are pushing for first team. That's what we need.
And we're good to go. Lovren definitely deserves another slot. I would sacrifice if the funds didn't allow us to get a top, like Ian says, like a Alisson, 60 million or whatever. If our funds didn't allow us to get another centre half, I would rather get a world-class goalkeeper than a world-class centre back. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we worked it out.
You're going all out for keeper. Lads, I can't talk much more, being honest with you.
Give us a song.
Song. You
Gav.
guys don't know.
I sound like
Gav, no. Gav, when we scored, Gav fucking went on a singing spree. He sang every Liverpool song for about 30 minutes, non-stop. He was that fucked out of it. And then when we lost at the end, there is no one. I never got to. I never knew what Napoleon's like, right, as a person. But if I could take a guess, it would have been like Gav, right? Because Gav was fucking angry. Gav was going. At one stage, I was going to throw Shay Given off the fucking balcony. He was that mad because Shay Given was trying to make not excuses, but he was trying to. You know how keepers try to defend other keepers, their fellow keepers, and he was like, "Don't fucking tell me about Karius."
I've heard that Gav got that excited. He jumped that high. He almost got to 5 foot.
And I wouldn't mind it. Come here. Do you know what I hit my head off? There was a pool table upstairs, right? And they were at the removing it. And you know the green kind of lights that come out of the ceiling and go over the pool table. And I managed to hit my head off them.
Gav was angry.
I was fucking fuming. I was absolutely fuming.
Gav's been angry all year.
No, I think at one stage, Phil Casey thought I was going to absolutely punch his head in. I swear to God.
He was.
When Liverpool scored.
Gav was like, don't anyone tell me about Karius. No one speak about Karius.
When Liverpool scored,
do you know,
sorry, go ahead. I don't think I cheered the goal. I just turned around to Phil and threw an absolute volley of abuse at him. Well, everybody else celebrated, but that's the way it goes. Lads, anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I would just like to say that it's a common misconception that Napoleon was small. He wasn't. He was the national average at the time. Yeah. I'm here to educate as well as entertain. Okay, so go on, move on.
All right, great. Anything else you'd like to say?
He's about, I think he's about 5'7", but they were all, that was the average, 5'8", something like that.
Well,
yeah. Now, yeah, but then, no.
Okay, Grizz, have you anything else?
Oh, thanks for that, Ian.
Have you anything else, Grizz, before we go?
Good, man. Listen, it was a disappointing result, but the journey's been great. The journey's been immense. We've got songs to sing. We've got stars. We've got, players of the caliber of Mo and Mane and that are not going anywhere. We've got no stars to sort of wanting to leave us. We've got the greatest manager we could possibly have at this stage. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what, he's got his targets in mind in terms of not only players, but sort of where we want to take this club. It's good, man. Yesterday, we played a team, Real Madrid, who won it for the 3rd time in a row. I never made us favourites. Yes, we got a bit hyped up and said we could do this. Of course we could do this, but I never thought that, it's just a foregone conclusion. That was the set of sequence of events that made us lose that, and I take hope of that.
Okay. I don't know what's going on in the background there. Matt, anything else before we go?
Yeah, similar to Chris, really. It's been one of my favourite seasons I can remember. The football we played, the teams we put away, it's been absolutely sensational. And I'm seeing this as the start of something and not the end. So, up the fucking Reds.
Okay, then he just throws his laptop away. Just still drinking.
I'm having a nightmare here, James. I almost died halfway through the podcast.
I love it. I'm literally dead. I genuinely am. On the last legs here. But look, that's it. That's the last Fatback 4 of the season.
The last
we're probably going to take a break. We'll probably do some transfer stuff and we'll come back.
You're getting fucked. Tell you, skid out.
Doesn't anyone want to
4 weeks off?
Doesn't anyone want to know my opinion on the season? No.
No.
I asked you, had you anything else to say, and you said no.
Yeah,
no,
you wasted it on Napoleon.
Yeah, you've had your show.
I'm going to another podcast with fucking more listeners and slightly less attractive people.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, just one shot back for the start of August. We don't mind.
Yeah.